Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Urkubaja.
Last week, you'll recall that we were tasked by the Pelu to tame a wild alpaca. To do that, we need to get a special saddle from the saddle maker.
Hey, how hard could it be? This is the artisan who makes our taming saddles. Okay, I want to talk to you. Is it really possible to make 100 times what the wool is worth just through trading? I sure hope so. Hi there. Something I can do for you? We've come to bargain. I need one of your special taming saddles to catch a wild alpaca. A saddle, is it? And how will you be paying for it? With this basket of fine alpaca wool. What use does a saddle maker have for wool? Besides, this could barely cover the cost of a single strap buckle. Offer me something I actually want. Yeah, we expected that. Might that be? Mezcal. I like to nurse a cup at day's end while I inspect my finished work. Bring me a jug of the quality stuff and you got yourself a deal. This bodes well for us, Third Promise. Such mezcal can be had for only 5 pel in the thousands column. Okay, that seems pretty reasonable. Hold on, did you say, Third Promise, that my offer has changed? The saddle's gonna cost you a jug of premium mezcal. 3 years? That stuff is valued at 10,000 pel or more. Why have you doubled the price? Because I must support the man of ambition who will see my business prosper. Zoralja will go to war, and his cavalry will need saddles. Lots of saddles. It's certainly versatile, Third Promise, but I won't sell you my craft for anything less than my asking price. Well, I guess that's how it's gotta be. Can't say that I blame him. I'm known for championing peace, but peace is unlikely to bring in more customers. Those of our grandparents' generation remember the dark days when the clans were at war. Many of these Pelo pray for your victory, Wakama. The younger ones, though, to them, strife and bloodshed are as children's stories. They think themselves safe from these horrors and take the peace we now enjoy for granted. Still others are unsatisfied with this quiet prosperity and crave the future the Second Promise envisions. They've become obsessed with innovations like dirigibles that have made their trade swift and easy. Then you have those like Havli, convinced that the First Promise's plans for conquest will afford them opportunities for great profit. But what about you, Mablu? Aren't you one of the younger generation? At least a year or two younger than me, I'd say. Oh, I was raised on the old tales. I've memorized the accounts of what it was like when the Yakoi ruled our village. Why I offered to help. I want you to become Dawn's servant. Keep our nation from going back to the way that it was. Well then, I guess I better make sure I win the contest. But the type of mezcal the saddle maker wants is so very expensive. Weren't we expecting to need 10,000 pel from the outset? Nothing's changed. We just need to get on with it. I may not have the head for trade or the stomach for alpacas, but I won't give up with the piece of Tuliyola on the line. And neither will I. We will make you Dawn's servant. Aiming for that 10,000 pel jug right away will only bring us failure and frustration. So let's try exchanging the wool for anything even a touch more valuable. The trick is to find someone who needs alpaca wool and is willing to trade at a loss to acquire it. Someone who supports your bid for the throne, for instance. Well, there was that guy just outside of town. He went out of his way to say he agreed with my vision, and he was here to buy wool. I think I remember the direction he was going, but for now, let's head back to the road where we first met him. So this one is a Ferengi.
Apparently so. I'm thinking part of her trial is going to be winning over people like that.
This where you met the Weaver? This is the spot. After Bolnock talked to us, he walked off to the south. Then he was going to a Kovo's Inn. Most visitors to watch Apello end up staying there. We'll check, shall we? I hope he's willing to offer us something wonderful in exchange. Ah, we meet again, but wait, weren't you on your way to Wanchapello? Can I have that basket, Mailia? What basket? Thanks, now let's see if we can turn a profit. Oh, Nock, I'm glad we found you. Are you interested in making a trade? Third promise, you wish to do business with me? Might I ask what this is all about? I see, so the goal is to turn that basket of wool into a jug of 3-year-old premium mezcal. Then allow me to invest in your efforts. Peace in Tural is what allows me to cross freely into the lands of my suppliers. Naturally, I would prefer the one that pledged to preserve the peace win the throne. Thus do I humbly offer you this wool poncho, a small token that I pray contributes to your victory. Oh, that's fine craftsmanship. A garment like that would easily fetch 5 pel in the hundreds column. That's very generous, Bolnock. Thank you. I promise I won't let you down. I have every faith in you, Third Promise. May fortune bless your future dealings. I can't believe you quintupled your investment with your first deal. We're off to a spectacular start. Only because Mailia remembered our Weaver friend. All I did was hand over the wool. That's not true. The connections you build with people are vital. This is one of the most fundamental precepts of trading, one which you've instinctively mastered. You think so? I know so. Now let's take our 500 pel poncho and trade it for something even more valuable. Here, Mailia, you take the poncho. If I lost it somehow, Arendelle would never let me hear the end of it. I might not either. All set. Our next deal is waiting to be found.
Sella is limited edition wool, sourced by the Third Promise.
I feel like a couple mercenary jobs would make the money faster.
Mercantile people love trying to win their respect.
Turned 100 pel into 500. I know it's only 5 times more, but it feels like 500 times more. Leveraging connections is a sound strategy, but we should also consider supply and demand. An individual in urgent need for a good poncho will offer more than a merchant simply looking to stock his shelves. That makes sense, but how do we know if someone needs a poncho? They aren't wearing one? That's the obvious answer, isn't it? We look for somebody without a poncho and hope they're eager to buy ours. Yes, there we go. We find the demand for our supply. So, where should we begin our search for our prospective buyers? There are any number of places, but we could do worse than starting right here at the inn. There might be some interested travelers. Who here needs a poncho? A lot of Mamulja hardly wear anything to begin with. Those are probably Landsguard or sellswords. The Mamulja, who soldier for a living, prefer not to wear much above the waist. It hampers their movements. So even if they have bared shoulders, Mamulja carrying arms can be struck off the list. Okay, so that guy's got a weapon, that guy's got a weapon, that guy's got a poncho, but this guy, he's got nothing. Let's see. No coat or cloak, but also no weapon. Oh, we might have a winner. Oh there, friend. You're not a mercenary by trade, right? I was curious about your bold choice of dress, or, lack thereof. It was no choice of mine, believe me. I was attacked by beasts on the way here, and barely escaped with my scales intact. My coat was not so lucky. I'm actually a toolmaker from Tural, and was dressed quite smartly. All the better to show the Pelu I am a man who takes pride in his appearance, and therefore his work as well. But now look at me. Well, sir, this is your lucky day. What a splendid poncho! This would be the perfect replacement for the coat I lost. We'd be willing to part with it if you'd like to make a trade for one of your fine tools, perhaps? What about this hatchet? I crafted it myself and will vouch for its quality. The blade looks sharp, the haft well made. I'd value it at 1 pel in the thousands call. Oh, from 500 to 1,000, we have a deal. A fine garment such as this should put me on even footing. See, a Pontius owner of Mippler's mate garden for one. Her field hands use hatchets to harvest the mate, and I thought to impress her with the tool I had sold you. No matter, I have other wares to sell. Glad I am to have met you. Did you hear that? We've already found our next buyer. To Mippler's mate garden we go. Yes, but it's a fair distance on foot. We should take alpacas. These ones will be the calm type, right? Hello. Here we go again, riding alpacas. Well done recognizing the toolmaker as a potential customer. If you've a mind to change professions, you'd make an excellent merchant. You've been doing so well, even Tobley would have to agree. Before we get moving, you should be the one to hold this. With that, I suppose we should hop on the alpacas Ma Blue has so kindly provided. Kindly or sadistically? If I'm gonna be catching a wild alpaca after this, I can't be shying away from the tame ones. Not that I'm scared of them, you understand. Or their nasty, disgusting, foul-smelling spit. Ready to go? Let's mount up. And it's off to the mate fields we go. Please don't spit, please don't spit. You'll be fine. These ones are accustomed to people. I still don't trust them. Have a knack for riding no matter what you say. Without our alpaca friends, we Pelu would never have become traveling merchants. Can you imagine walking all the way across Tural? We made it, and without a single smelly incident. I sent the alpacas back to Ikolvo's Inn, so we'll walk along the main road when we return to the village. Speaking of roads to travel, you were adopted by the Dawn servant, weren't you, Third Promise? That I was. Then perhaps you understand, I was an orphan too, you see. Tobley took me in. He took in all the ranch hands, actually. 5 of them? Yes, and everyone works hard at their chores, grateful for the opportunity to repay the head ledger's generosity. Yet here I am, the only one wanting to go off and be a merchant. I'm sorry, I don't know why I'm telling you this. We need to keep trading things for your saddle if you're going to prepare for the feat of gold. As it's mate harvesting season, they can't have too many quality hatchets, add to that, Wakomat's way with the people, and we should have no trouble making a favorable deal. That's me Blue herself over there. Pass the hatchet to the third promise and let's get to bargaining. You give that hatchet back to Wakoma? We should let her do the talking. What do I owe this honor? You have that little axe for me? Thanks. Now to see what we can get for it. You're me Blue, the owner of these fields? I have a mind to trade, if you're interested. Well, the third promise. I might be convinced to entertain a proposal. What do you have on offer? It's hatchet, forged by a seasoned artisan. The razor edge of this exceptional tool will make light work of your crops. The quality is acceptable, I suppose. I offer you a large sack of mate leaves in exchange. Sack of mate leaves is valued at 1 pel in the thousands column, the same price as the hatchet. This deal would bring us no closer to the Mezcal. If I may, Mr. Smithblue, it's harvesting season, is it not? Does not the demand for hatchets afford them a higher value? It is indeed the season, which is why I procured an ample batch of tools well in advance. We've missed the window for demand. In that case, we'll have to fall back on connections. Think of it this way. A generous deal here will put you in the third promise's good graces. Surely that's worthy of consideration. I do not wish to give offense, but I must tell you that I stand with the second promise. His innovations will improve every aspect of our lives, I believe, including farming, and I will no longer have need for hatchets. I assure you that I have nothing but respect for Wakomat. That is why I'm prepared to purchase a spare hatchet at a fair price. I suppose it is fair given your reasons, but we ourselves would be no better off for the transaction. How about this then? If we can help bring in your harvest, would you give us a better deal? As a matter of fact, I would. Until Kona's reforms come about, I can always use more hands in the field. See? Sweat equity, it has value. Then you can go ahead and add our labor to the bargain. Added value to tip the scales. How could I have forgotten one of the most basic rules of trading? You can rest here if you like, Bablu. Mailia and I have mate together. Oh no, I'm hoping to. Off to the fields then. And mind you pick up the healthy leaves. I'll take 5 good bundles from each of you. Isn't it splendid? Go ahead and drink in the verdant vista of my beautiful mate garden. Did you see how Wakwama came to my rescue there? She really is good with people. I wasn't sure Midblue would bite, but it goes to show that you never know until you try. Wise words. Have you ever seen someone picking mate leaves? I imagine the opportunities to see such are few and far between. You've brought me some leaves then? Yes, sir. Bundles and bundles. An acceptable harvest. We'll see how your companions fare before I make any decisions, though. Here, we brought our share as well. Thank you, Third Promise. This is more than enough to hold up your end of the bargain. Now it's time to honor mine. After adding the value of your labor to the price of the hatchet, I am prepared to offer you a full sack of our highest grade mate leaves. Baby and Mate bought at the shop, one sack of those leaves would cost no less than 5 pel in the thousands column. Then we can bid farewell to this hatchet. I'll give it a good home. Talk of the contest aside, I'm glad we could come to a mutually agreeable trade. As am I. All the best with the rest of your harvest. Blue, what's wrong? It's as I was saying before, even after everything Toby's done for me, I'm planning to abandon it all and become a merchant. But then I needed your help after forgetting a basic rule of trade. How can I expect Toby to accept my decision then? Oh, you intend to give up then? I can't. After getting a taste of real trading, I want to be a merchant more than ever. Then you'll just have to be honest. I seek to follow in my father's footsteps, but not because he expects it of me. I want to preserve Tural's peace and become Dawntrail if it happens to be the best way to do it. You should live a life of your own choosing, and I wouldn't be surprised if Toby held the same opinion. So talk to him. You're right. It's better to find out for sure than worry over what he might say. Thank you for the advice. But first, we have a saddle to buy. I want that success under my belt so I can be sure of my decision. What's next then? We try to trade our tea leaves for something halfway to 10,000 pel? Though, I think we're close enough now. I say we go straight for the premium mezcal. Bargain our way into double the value, eh? Think you can do it? Trust me, I will make this trade work. I admire you, Third Promise. That you're holding your own against such strong competition for the throne is inspiring. Am I really holding my own against Kona and Zeralja? I mean, of course I am. I'm Wakoma of the Dawn's Promise, after all. I've never been one to take it slow. Once I have a goal in mind, it's full speed ahead. That's who I am. Before we go, let me give you the mate leaves. I don't need to risk proving Arendelle's point. Ready then? Our next stop is the Mezcal Distillery.
That's a hunt target.
I am allergic to bees, especially giant bees with 2 stingers. Oof, the smell of mezcal is overpowering. The fumes alone are making me dizzy. We'll want to speak with the man by the name of Gobley. Even among his fellow distillers, he's regarded as a master of the craft. He knows the value of his product, so if we're to convince him to trade for twice what the leaves are worth, we're going to need targeted information. That means asking around and taking in the gossip. If you could talk to people here in the distillery, Mailia, perhaps Wakomat could do the same at the village entrance. Meanwhile, I'll head to the north side and see what I can learn. Welcome, welcome. Our kapache is terribly cold, isn't it? Come sit down and have a cup. You'll warm. Tie it up. I'm a chef from Tural. I often come here to buy Gobley's mezcal, the finest in Tural, according to my customers. He always brings out a jug during his dealings, but I can't handle the stuff too well myself. I take small sips, not wanting to be impolite, you understand, but still end up so addled as to agree to whatever price he quotes. It would be nice to have less, potent refreshments during conversations, else I might have to seriously reconsider our arrangement. Okay, so he's gonna try to drink us into submission. Gobley might be a deft hand at distilling, but he's got no sense when it comes to appearances. Rumor has it he's been invited to the palace for business negotiations. If he presents himself to the court wearing his usual rumpled attire, he'll be laughed out of some perch. Shabby dresser.
Apparently remarkably shabby.
There's not much I can say about Gobley, but I can tell you what Gobley's been saying. The other day he was muttering about monsters prowling around. Agave jaws. That's the field where they gather ingredients for the mezcal. Presence has made it harder to procure said ingredients and thus driven up the price of his product. A boon, some might argue, but it's hard to celebrate when it affects the work as it does. Can't rightly bring joy to people if you can't keep making the thing that they love.
And that's where we come in.
Agreed. I smell a plot hook. So, what did you find out? Oh, we can make use of all those tidbits. The deal is as good as sealed. As for me, I found out where Gobley is working. There's a millstone at the top of the slope behind the distillery. You go on ahead and I'll bring Wakoma. You have business with me, madam? Why don't we talk down below so as not to distract the alpaca from his work? Now what's this about? Keep it brief if you would, I'm a busy man. The market for a 3-year-old jug of premium mezcal, assuming you have any on hand, that is. Ah, an excellent choice. I must warn you though, it doesn't come cheap. Don't have, pal, but we can offer a sack of mate leaves in exchange. It's top grade stuff, like the mezcal. No deal. Mate leaves are well and good, but I don't have any use for them. No deal, just like that? Still, I'd hate to send you away empty-handed. Why don't we sit down and chat a while over a cup of mezcal? Now the real bargaining begins. Which of our cards do you want to play first? I appreciate your hospitality, but I'm afraid I can't hold my drink. I've heard one of your regular customers, a hobo chef, is the same. Being as not everyone can enjoy mezcal, I wonder if you might benefit from having other refreshments to offer. Something like latte tea, for instance, and brewed from the finest leaves, of course. Ah, you're right. Absolutely right. I had noticed a growing reluctance on part of my hobogo friend, but did not realize I myself was to blame. I must endeavor to be a better host. Still, even with the added value in mind, no sack of leaves is worth the mezcal you're after. Should we offer to call the monsters causing them trouble? yet. We'll keep that card up our sleeve until we need it. As I expect you're aware, the rite of succession is currently taking place. That's why the third promise has graced us with her presence. When the contest is decided, the subsequent ascension ceremony and banquet will be a prestigious affair. If your mezcal were to be served there, it would bring your distillery immeasurable fame. Wait, could it be that your rumored invitation to the palace is to discuss that very possibility? As a matter of fact, yes, I must admit I'm still reeling from the abruptness of it all. It would be a great honor and opportunity if I can secure the deal. Well, I should think your exceptional mezcal would speak for itself. That said, there's no such thing as being too prepared, and first impressions last. You'll want to be wearing your very best when you walk in to talk to Valu Shunza. It would be such a shame to miss this chance of a lifetime opportunity for want of proper garments. That it would. Are you saying you have the garments to offer? Something ideal for court? We have no garments on hand, I'm afraid, but we can provide you with the next best thing, an introduction to a weaver. His name's Bolna, and his works are highly regarded in Tural. As a supporter of Wakalama and a keen observer of palace politics, he will doubtless be happy to guide you in the selection of an outfit to fit this golden occasion. That certainly is a tempting proposal, and one of which I should like to take full advantage, but the scales still quite aren't balancing. Say, weren't there monsters running amok in Agave Jaws? That's a problem we could easily solve for you. Truly, I would be most grateful for your immediate assistance. I was resigned to hiring sellswords to clear them out. Factor in that saved expense and an introduction to a trusted weaver. This is shaping up to be a sound bargain. All right, you have a deal. Yes, I knew you'd come around. Give us a moment and Mailia and I will take care of those prowling nuisances. In the meantime, I'll use the time to pen an introductory letter to Bolna. Fields you're looking for are just north of Huachapello. Be safe. Well played, kid. Well played. Be careful out there. You said that already. That young woman is one formidable traitor. We noticed. That should be Agave Jaws just over there. This will go faster if we split up. Come and find me once you finish clearing out your share of the pests. Compared to the creatures I hunted with Papa, this was no challenge at all. Come on, let's head back to the distillery. All that's left is to give Mablu the sack of leaves so she can seal the deal. Finished already? Even hardened mercenaries would have taken longer. Those monsters were no trouble for you, it seems. Now, if I could just have the sack of leaves. Thank you for looking after our precious trading goods. The monster problem has been resolved, Master Gobley. Here are the mate leaves and a written introduction to Bolnok, as agreed. Then the deal is done. Here, you jug of premium mezcal, aged 3 years. Please accept it with my compliments. Yes, we finally have the mezcal. Great work, especially you, Mablu. You were the one that inspired me to come this farther, promise. But let's not celebrate until we have the saddle in hand. Mablu, is it? You drive a hard bargain, young peddler. I look forward to doing business with you in the future. Thank you, but truth be told, I'm just a ranch hand. For now. Should I ever become a proper merchant, though, I'll be back to strike more deals with you. Master Gobley's praise makes me confident I can be a peddler after all. Well, a bit more confident than before, at least. I'm satisfied with our trade, and I trust you are too. Should you have need of more mezcal, you know who to come to. Even at the palace, I don't think I've held 10,000-pound jug of anything before. My hands won't stop shaking. Here, you'd better hold on to it until we get to the saddle maker. Can you imagine if we dropped it and had to start all over again? Luckily, Halfway's place is not far. We just need to head across the plaza. Third promise looks ready to trade the mezcal now. Price is final. Bring me a jug of premium mezcal or go bargain with another saddle maker. This is it, the trade we've been working towards. Phew, still in one piece. Right, time to make our deal. Get your tools ready, saddler. We've brought you your precious mezcal. Wait, you actually got your hands on a jug? But you had nothing, a few measly clumps of wool. What we had was an aspiring trader with a gift of negotiation. Although I'd sooner aid no claimant but Zeraldra, I cannot go against the guiding principles of the Pelu. The trade is a fair one. I will craft your saddle, third promise. Great! Stay and wait if you like. I have all the requisite materials, so this won't take long. Your commission is ready. Catching a wild alpaca is never a simple affair, but you'll have an easier time of it with one of my saddles. Now, if you don't mind, I have other work that needs finishing. I can taste that smooth mezcal already. We did it! The saddle is ours! And to think, we only started out with a 100-pound basket of alpaca wool. Mabu, you're going to be an incredible merchant. Thank you. It makes me so glad to hear you say that, third promise. We got what we came for, so let's return to the ranch. The others will be waiting. I still don't like him. Well, that took a lot longer than I thought it would.
It's the journey, not the destination, dear.
Okay, so next week we'll catch that damn alpaca. Till then, please remember to spay and neuter your pets and family members. До свидания.